Welcome to the Spring 2019 anime preview, a couple days before the Spring 2019 season really gets into full swing. And today we're taking a look at all the shows that are going to come out this season and try to think about whether they'll be good or not, because we haven't had any evidence as to whether they'll be good or not. I think the first show airs in about 2 days, so we'll get our first look at what the Spring 2019 anime season has to offer. But let's just go over all the various shows. I think there's about 32 shows, so strap in, because this is going to be a long one. And let's just take a look at all the shows and see whether they'll be good or not. You know, like looking at plot synopses, staff, voice actors, etc., etc. And there's really no way to tell until you actually see the show, but this is the best thing we can do until then. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, this is looking at anychart.net. We're looking at all the shows this season, and the first one is, of course, One Punch Man 2, the much-awaited sequel to One Punch Man. We've been waiting for this for over a year now. I think One Punch Man is so mainstream now that Bill Burr talks about it on his podcast. And when something makes its way to Bill Burr that's anime, you know that it's gone fully mainstream. And he seems to like it for whatever reason, so there's not much else to say with that. You know, it's coming out in 4 days. We'll find out. I don't really know what arc they're going to do, because I haven't read the original webcomic, but I'm assuming it's going to be good just because all the original people are here. And One Punch Man has been so hyped by this point, they basically can do whatever they want, and they can't really do any wrong anymore. Moving on to Shingeki no Kyojin Part 3, Part 2. The sequel to the third season, or the first half of the third season of Attack on Titan. Left off on a little bit of a cliffhanger. I barely made it through the third season, first half. It's not really something that people, you know, it's not an unknown quantity at this point. People know what Attack on Titan is, and it's probably as mainstream as One Punch Man, if not more. You know, Attack on Titan has been a meme for a long time, so third season, there's not really anything else to say about this. If you already know how it ends, you know you already know how it ends, and for the anime-only viewers, we're gonna find out. So that's about as much as I'll say about Attack on Titan. Moving on to Kimetsu no Yaiba. Now this, I have no clue what this is. So the first two, we basically already knew they were known quantities. Let's just say that the character designs look pretty good. So let's take a look at this plot synopsis. The setting is Taisho-era Japan. Tanjiro is a kind-hearted young boy who lived peacefully with his family as a coal seller. Their normal life changes completely when his family is slaughtered by demons, you know, as it happens in rural Japan in the old days. The only other survivor, Tanjiro's younger sister Nezuko, has become a ferocious demon. So there's a little plot point right there, you know. That's probably going to be his goal for the season, is to get her back. In order to return Nezuko to normal and get revenge on the demon that killed their family, the two of them depart on a journey. From a young talent, an adventure tale of blood and sword begins. From a young talent, are they referring to the studio? Because the studio I haven't really heard about before. Oh, no, wait, I have heard about it. This is not the show I was talking about. Ufotable, as we know, pretty famous studio. They do a lot of stuff, you know, Fate Zero, Fate Night, all that stuff. I think they did the movie. Source Shonen Jump, so there's a manga behind it. Let's take a look at some of the stuff, shall we? Original creator, that's the guy who wrote the manga. They haven't listed the director here. It would be nice to know that, but I guess if it's Ufotable, it's probably going to be a director we know about as well. There is a PV available. This is one of the shows that I'm somewhat excited about. Since it's from Shonen Jump, I feel like it'll be right in my wheelhouse, you know, and it seems to be fairly popular, so I might be doing a live reaction to this, most likely because if it's a popular enough show, I like to give my view on things, just because otherwise there's not really anything else to talk about. But last season I felt was a pretty good balance between shows that focus more on plot and shows that didn't. So we had, obviously, The Promised Neverland and Mob Psycho 100, two very good shows. Other than that, I felt the season was a little bit of a letdown, with mostly other kind of not so serious shows, which I like as well, but you can't really do a whole plot discussion and breakdown of that like you see people doing with Game of Thrones when that season comes out recently, or when it's going to come out in April or whatever. It lends itself more to that kind of plot discussion, like, you know, theorizing about what will happen next kind of stuff, and that's what I prefer to do. Not that there's anything wrong with watching shoujo shows and stuff like that. Number 3 most popular, Spring 2019. Looking forward to this. You know, it's based on a Shonen Jump manga, so likely it'll have a good plot already laid out. So let's move on to the next one, shall we? Bungo Stray Dogs. Bungo Stray Dogs, pretty popular show. It's third season of this, and the premise of this show is that It's all the characters in the show are based on Japanese and international literary figures, and it's like a kind of like a I don't want to say like a yaoi bait type thing, but it is kind of like it does play more to that side of things because there's a lot of girl fans of this show. But this show, relatively popular show, Studio Bone, so the animation's going to be good. I did make it halfway through the first season of this show, and by that point I kind of just got relatively tired of it. I probably should go back to it. It's not that bad or anything. It's actually still a relatively solid show, and the powers and stuff in it are cool because they're based off of the literary figures' writing style and like their personality and stuff, which is good. I always like that. It encourages people to read the books. There's a whole small community of fans of this show who just read the books written by the characters in the show. So there's that, which is good. You know, there could be worse ways to get connected to the characters. Fruit Basket. Fruit Basket, known quantity, a shoujo manga, very famous, early 2000s shoujo manga. I think this is the second anime adaptation of this show. I may be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure there was an earlier one, and they're redoing it. And this is like one of the most classic romance novels ever. In this manga, all the guys are actually like signs of the zodiac, and they like transform into animals. So I actually read a whole bunch of this manga when I was younger, just because my sister also read it, and that was one of 2 manga series that were offered at our library, this and Dragon Ball Z, so I read both of them. Nothing much else to say about this. Magic. Yes, there is magic. I think like zodiac related animal magic. This is an extremely popular manga series and now show, so this should get a lot of attention when it comes out. Kenjo no Mago. Let's take a look at this, shall we? This I have no idea what this is. What is this based on? Source light novel. Oh, so it's a light novel that got turned into a manga, that got turned into an anime. One of those, huh? Oh, and it looks like an isekai show. That's very nice. Kenjo no Mago. A young man is reborn in another world where he's adopted as a baby by the hero Merlin Wolflord and named Shin, I guess because he's new to that world. By his 15th birthday, Shin has accumulated all kinds of power by studying under Merlin, but one thing his adoptive grandfather didn't give him was a lick of common sense. Sounds to me like a comedy isekai, the twist being that instead of going to the other world as a fully developed teenager, he's going there as a kid and he's being raised in this world. That probably is the only difference. Silverlink Studios. What other isekai have Silverlink Studios done? Shall we see? They did the Fate spin-off last year. What else did they do? Non Biori, Masamune-kun no Revenge. So yeah, so you can already tell what kind of show this is going to be. Death March. This studio has been very busy keeping their wheels spinning by making the popular shows of the seasons, huh? This show looks like another isekai. I don't know what else it's going to be. Characters only 1 listed. Staff. No director. Character designs by Yuki Sawahiri. I guess that's good. I don't know. The characters look extremely generic to me, just like random. This blue-haired character on the left just looked like an Aqua spin-off, and from the way they said didn't give him a lick of common sense, I'm getting that they're going for a comedy vibe. I don't know. We can only tell when we watch, and when the show comes out, I'll probably do a first impressions of a first episode of every single show, even though there's like 32 of them at this point. But hey, if I have to watch 10 hours of anime just to make a video, I guess it must be a popular manga because it's like extremely popular in the rankings here. Who knew? Okay, isekai comedy. Moving on. Fairy Gone. PA Works show. Let's see. Now you can tell from the dark aesthetic of this picture that it's probably going to be a more serious one than the one we just saw. So let's read the synopsis of this. A world where fairies possess and reside within animals, granting them special powers. By surgically removing and transplanting the organs of a possessed animal into a human, humans can partially summon the fairy and use it as a weapon. So already I'm confused. So this wolf thing is like they have to surgically remove the organ from the animal where the fairy lives and transplant it into a human. But the human doesn't transform. They summon something that transforms. Is this an original? Yes, it is. I fucking knew it. That's the kind of complicated shit only an original will come up with. Okay. Eventually, such individuals were used for war. obviously, and we're called fairy soldiers. This doesn't seem very threatening, does it? Fairy soldiers. Oh no, the fairy soldiers are coming. They're gonna kill us. After a long war, these soldiers lost their purpose and had to reintegrate into society. I do like that twist on things. Sounds very Violet Evergarden-y. I think, was it this studio that did Violet Evergarden? It might be. No, it wasn't. Oh, I'm wrong again. They did Uma Musume though, so there's that. Very experienced in the war genre, these guys. From the government, the mafia, and even becoming terrorists, each tread their own path. The story begins 9 years after the end of the war and centers on the protagonist Maria. Maria is a fresh recruit of Dorothea, an organization dedicated to the investigation and suppression of fairy-related crimes and incidents. Okay, so you have two sides of things. Fairy soldiers, you know, like striking out, and then one on the other side trying to be legit. Even in peacetime, the government is still unstable after the war. Many criminals still have lingering wounds from the previous conflict, and there are terrorist groups bent on revenge. I like the idea of it, like veterans coming back into society not really knowing what to do, so they like start doing other stuff. April 8th start date for this. Probably will watch this as well. Don't really know what else to say. Let's look at some of the voice actors, shall we? What else have they done? Ooh, okay. So like Idolmaster, Kakegurui. Oh no. Oh, okay, this is like one of the normal characters from Kakegurui. There's that. Okay, so we can already. This is gonna be PA Works' like high budget animation. Or high budget action series of the season. I would watch this PV, but I don't want to get struck. So it looks promising enough to me. The premise is a little bit like complicated, but I think at the end of the day we're still going to get a relatively solid action series. I just hope they don't go full Be the Beginning that way with this, because that premise I still don't get. And it was a B. Oh, it's not a B, it's 13. That was stupid. The writing needs to keep up as well with everything else. Kenichi Suzuki, what has he done? Drifters. I thought Drifters was relatively good, so if that's the director for this, he directed Stardust Crusaders. So now I have Hataraku Saibo, was like a children's show more or less, but this guy seems like a relatively new director, but he's done some good shows, so, you know, promising look at that. Fairy Gone. Okay, gonna keep it in mind. Just because of the name, it might have some mainstream success in the West, you know? Not that complicated a name. This show. Bokutachi wa benkyou ga dekinai. I think that means they don't want to do homework. His late father always said that a useless man should strive to be useful, so that to that end, third-year high school student Naruyuki Yuiga dedicated himself to becoming a high-achievement student in his school despite his history of poor grades. In order to give his destitute family a better life, his ultimate goal is to obtain the special VIP nomination, a prestigious scholarship covering all future university tuition fees. I feel you, bro. I would like to get a scholarship as well, or I would have liked to, you know, in the past. Although Naruyuki could feasibly be a shoo-in for the nomination, he's constantly overshadowed by classmates, both girls, in mathematics and literature. To his delight, Naruyuki receives the nomination, but there's a catch. He has to tutor his two... This is like the plot to a hentai. What is this? Who are each hopelessly mediocre at the other subject of expertise. There's only two subjects in this school, math and literature. To make matters worse, the subjects they are horrible at are the same subjects they want to pursue for their future. So this is like a school comedy, school harem comedy show. As the time to submit, university must find an effective tutoring method for the... This is definitely... it has to be, right? This is definitely a comedy show. Studios... Oh, shit. It's a comedy. So it's basically like Bokuben. Okay, I guess that's what we're going to call it then. We'll see what we can... We can't study. We can't study is nice. We can't study. What is Sengoku Collection? Looking for something that looks from... Oh, okay. I know this Golden Kamui show. There's like so many Golden Kamuis. Oh, fuck. Not this. Oh, shit. The main character girl is Aiko from Aiko. God damn it. That was... I don't know. I don't think she did very good in that. We'll see, though, I guess. This is obviously a harem comedy, but apparently it's ecchi too, so I guess it's like, what's that show with the, like, I'm just, the name of the show is escaping me. Maybe I'll remember it later, but it's like that one school comedy show, not Prison School, the other one. I'll remember it later. But anyway, comedy. Won't know if it's good till you watch it. Is there any director listed? No, there's not. Okay, I really wish more directors were listed in this. Is it original? No, it's a manga. Of course it is. That's probably why it's so popular, is because it's a manga. The Fairy Gone show is just popular based off the studio and what the plot synopsis is. Okay, moving on. There's so many shows. Carol and Tuesday. Okay, going for a little Samurai Champloo kind of retro aesthetic here with that picture. But the art does not look anything like that, so immediately take that back. They just chose it for the poster, I guess, because they want to remind you that that was a show. I don't know why the synopsis is written like a haiku, in like different stanzas. Here we go. Carol and Tuesday. I think, is it Carol or like Carol? I'm going to call it Carol. Carol and Tuesday. 50 years have passed since mankind began migrating to a new frontier. This is like the one show with the cockroaches where they go to Mars. It's an age where most cultures produced by AI and people are content to be passive consumers. There's a girl scrapping a living in the metropolis of Alba City. She's working part-time while trying to become a musician. She's always felt like something is missing. Her name is Carol. There's a born to a wealthy family in the provincial town of Provincial City that she dreams of becoming a musician, but nobody around her understands. She feels like the loneliest. So there's two girls. You know what happens when there's two girls? Oh boy. You know, shout out to them. It's an original music sci-fi show. So, yo, fucking Shinichiro Watanabe, dude. What the fuck? What are you doing here? What is this show? So the first thing that I thought of when looking at this was Garden of Eden. Just because Garden of Eden has like so much backstory, but they don't focus on it at all. Instead, they talk about like robots in a cafe, which I feel like is what this show is going to be like. You know, like there's this whole Mars bit and AI producing culture, and on the other hand, there's like two musicians. You know, and I'm all for a wholesome Garden of Eden type show. I'm actually now like weirdly super hyped for this. Going into it, I was like, no, not at all. Artificial intelligence. I don't even know why they mention this in the synopsis, because it doesn't look like it has much like impact on the plot, other than that human musicians are apparently a rarity now. Is this a grim look into our dark future? I don't know. I guess we'll see. They haven't really listed any genre for this. Music is apparently a genre. I've loved pretty much every music anime that I've watched. Fucking Shinichiro Watanabe is directing a music sci-fi show. So how do you not get hyped for this? I'm super hyped now. Okay, whatever. Airing in 5 days? I'll watch it. I don't give a fuck. This seems like a weirdly wholesome way for him to go. And what studio is doing this? Studio Bones. Solid studio. The art looks better in the poster than it does in this picture. So I hope it looks more like this. Or is it like you can only look at it from a distance? Anyway, looks pretty fun. I'd probably watch this. Yeah, okay. I'll give this a chance, if anything. 24 episodes of music sci-fi. This is very strange direction to go in, but okay. Oh boy, I already know what this show is going to be. Seiwa Akikitsuno no Senko-san. Okay, let me guess. It's a manga? I had assumed it would be a light novel, but I guess it's a manga. The everyday life of Nakano, a salaryman working for an exploitative company, suddenly intruded upon by the kitsune. Oh, in ancient lollies, you know? Whether it be cooking, cleaning, or a special service, oh god. She'll heal his exhaustion with her tender care. Fuck me up, fam. Okay, there's only one thing that matters about this. I guess who the voice actress is for this. Oh no, Shiete Gyalko-chan. That means she's gonna do good, because the comedic timing in the show is on point. So I guess it will be funny at least, you know, if nothing else. Oh god. Oh my. Yeah, she's very experienced in this lolly field. So, bro, this could be good if you want that like comedy lolly. There's always one. There's one show every season which is a comedy lolly show. It looks to be harem-esque as well. It's really all you need to know. If you read the manga, you know what it is. It's that slice of life supernatural comedy, which has apparently just become a big genre since Dragon Maid. People think there's like this niche in the market for supernatural slice of life comedies, so we get a bunch of them now. I don't know, but hey, that's what you get. If that's what you want, you know what this is, so go for it. Next show, Shoumetsu Toshi. Oh, Madhouse. You know, Madhouse I feel has been like batting relatively low average these days. Shoumetsu Toshi. One day, a town is annihilated. Yuki is a young woman who's said to be the only person left alive from the town after the annihilation, and Takuya is a loner and a smuggler. Smuggler, that's a new role for someone to play in one of these shows. Together with the letter left by Yuki's father, they go toward the town now called Lost. They're going to a town called Lost. I don't care, but that's just funny to me. But unexpected obstacles stand in their path. The thoughts of those left behind, secret mysterious organizations, and hidden conspiracies await Yuki and Takuya as they move closer toward the mystery behind Lost. So they're trying to find the town called Lost. At least that's good. April 7th start date. Is the source video game. Yikes. Video games don't really have the best track record of being adapted. The Persona 5 anime did not do so well, but we'll see. We already know what it is, like an action. It reminds me of Mayo Ihiga, like when they go looking for the village in the mountain, and it just turns into like this next level fucked up shit. But I think that show was satirizing this show. We don't know until we see, I guess. Let's look at a Shigeyuki Miya. Let's see. I feel like I should know him. Blood Lad, Buzzer Beater, Lupin the Third. A lot of seasons of Lupin the Third. Onihei. Oh fuck. I don't know how many people watch this show. Bokura wa minna kawaiso. I don't know about this show. I don't think this show was as well received as this show, but I watched this show, and Onihei, it's on Amazon Prime. That's why nobody's ever seen it. I've never heard anybody even talk about this show, but it's a solid show, and it's just really good. It's like based in Edo era Japan about this guy who hunts criminals. He's a samurai. It's a really good show, but no one ever talks about it. It came out the same season as Rakugo Shinju, like years ago, but nobody gives a fuck about this show. So this is just a signal boost for this show more than anything else. But Shoumetsu Toshi, I'm now more hyped since this guy's done Lupin the Third and Onihei, you know? Weirdly kind of positive about the show. Maybe it'll be good. I doubt it, just because the art looks very light novel-y, generic-y, and the plot is bad, but we'll see if it's good or not. We don't know. The director's good, so at least there's that. The character designs just look like bad. Like, look at this. Oh, but we'll see. You know, I could get over bad character designs if the show's good. You know, that's happened before. Shoumetsu Toshi, Annihilated City. Okay. Hitoribochi no Marumaru Seikatsu. Oh boy. Oh, that's her name. Oh, it's like a pun on her name. Suffers from extreme social anxiety. Just look at the character, by the way. If you look at the character, you already know what they're going for. They're going for that Umaru-chan market. She's not good at talking to people, takes pretty extreme actions, is surprisingly adept at avoiding people. Her legs cramp when she overexerts herself, gets full of herself when alone, will vomit when exposed. Okay, so, you know how Umaru-chan was like wish fulfillment for people who wanted to go to work, come back, and just be a complete, like, trash bag. This is a vicarious living for people who are extremely socially anxious and want to, like, just, like, have be in a comedic situation where you're not the butt of the joke. Manga, of course, probably a gag manga. It looks relatively good. C2C looks like one of those new studios. Oh boy. Well, you know, at least certain aspects of the animation will be good. Yeah, so it is definitely a relatively new studio. They've only done a handful of shows. Harukana Receive, I think, was relatively well received. It's like pretty popular in the not what is that show with the people bouncing butts off of each other? Not quite that bad, but still I think towards the oh, I feel like I should know who she is too. Oh damn, debut voice actress. Well, this should be fun if nothing else. I really think that cute girls doing cute things shows like this kind of depends on the performance that the main character gives. Because if the main character is not like super expressive and easy to relate to, I think it really brings the show down. It's a slice of life comedy show about cute girls doing cute things, and if you have social anxiety, this will probably be a show for you. And if you like this kind of show, so that's that. I'm guessing the manga is pretty popular. That's why it's up here, because the studio is not that well known. Here we go, another serious show. Konoyo no Hata Dekoi o Tao Shoujo Yuno. Wow, what a name. Okay. Oh, it's based on an OVA. Visual novel. Visual novel that was made into an OVA and now adapted into a girl who chants love at the bound of this world. Ugh, I don't know about this one. Let's look at the director. That's probably a good way to start. Afro Samurai. So he's Berserk. Oh boy. He did the new Berserk series. Kekkai Sensen. That's good. Colorful the movie. Shin-chan. A lot of Shin-chan stuff. Drifters. Storyboard on Drifters. So he's basically an animator that's moved over to direction now. Which sometimes that works. This is his first direction. No, whoa. No. This is we know what show this is, don't we? Oh no, this is not the show that I thought it was. This is one of those isekais. I don't think this show is very good. So, he's probably a better animator than he is a director. And he hasn't done direction in a long time. But he's extremely experienced. Look at this. Scrolling for ages. He's been doing he started off as a director, went into animation, never did any X-holic. There's that animation. He's only directed one other show, and that show's really bad. Oh boy. This should be fun. Let's just read the plot synopsis anyway. Takuya, there's a lot of Takuyas this season. It's going to be confusing when it comes around to that. Is a young student whose father, a historian who has conducted various research, disappeared recently. During the summer vacations, Takuya receives a peculiar passage from his missing father, along with a letter containing information about the existence of various parallel worlds. So at least someone is told about the world before they go there. At first, Takuya doesn't take it seriously, but soon he realizes that he possesses a device that allows him to travel to alternate dimensions. Is his father alive after all? If so, where is he? I do like the setup of the plot, better than your typical isekai, but I feel like this is going into that same, like, there's probably going to be one of these girls in each world that he goes to, and at the end he brings them all together, just making extremely uninformed assumptions about the show here. But yeah, probably something like that. The show doesn't look to be very well received. April 2nd start date. So it already started. I just didn't know about it. Okay. I don't know if you are really into this plot of him finding his dad by traveling to different worlds, but it looks pretty generic show to me. So maybe give this one a skip. Okay, moving on. Sara Zanmai. This is an original. There's not that many originals these days. Fantasy drama. The character designs look okay, so there's that. This art piece here looks better than I thought it would. The stage is Asakusa on one day, 3 second-year middle school students. Chugakse, that's good. Kazuki, Yasaka, Tuikoji, and Enta Jinai meet a mysterious kappa-like creature named Keppi, who forcibly takes their Shirikyo Dama, a mythical organ Kappa steal through a person's anus, and transforms the boys into Kappa. I like the Japanese mythology connection, there's that. Keppi informs them, if you wish to return to your former selves, you must connect in that way and bring me the Shiriko Dama of zombies. Is this like very much just reminds me of Goku Dolls from last season, but I feel like it's going to be wholesome and not like dirty at all. But if it would be Goku Dolls if they had to find a way to return to what they were. Studio Mappa. So it looks like a comedy where they turn into Kappa and they have to find a way to get back, which I can get behind. That seems like the type of comedy show that would be fine with me. Staff roles. So he's a voice actor as well. Director on the Sailor Moon. Oh, he's been in the game for a long time. Norame Cantabile directed an episode. Oh my god, Revolutionary Girl Utna. Oh, so this show is like sneaky good. It's like when you look at the premise, you're like, when art on the poster just looks cool too. I like the Japanese mythology connection. I think it's going to be pretty good. It seems like a comedy to me. But they say drama, but maybe it's like a fantasy. It looks to be a pretty good show. It's like a wholesome show with some gags about stealing organs through people's anuses. Better than another light novel adaptation, I'd say. Yeah, 11 episodes because it's an original source, I guess. Anyway, looks good. Kono Oto Tomare. In the story, Takezu is the last remaining member of the Koto Club, a club dedicated to the traditional Japanese. It's one of those school club shows. There's so many of those. If he doesn't find new members, the Koto Club will be terminated. Dude, who is cutting these clubs at these schools? Because these kids are worried about losing their clubs every single time. So, manga source, Platinum Vision Studios. I've never heard of this studio. What have they done? Devil's Line, the Devil's Line OVA, Servamp, and Sayuki Blast. Okay, now I know I haven't heard of them. This splintering of the studios into smaller and smaller studios that have to keep doing popular shows to stay alive. Oh my god, you can make so many videos about that. April 7th start date. It seems to be like a normal slice of life high school show, but this time it's about this particular instrument. So if you know anything about this particular instrument or find anything about this particular instrument interesting, or you just think the girls' character designs are good, maybe watch this show. So slice of life shows always find a little, it's a drama show, romance. There is that like little romance music drama, a hole left behind by euphonium, which people are trying to capitalize on, I guess. We'll see if this show is good or not. I don't know really what else to say about it other than that. It is a manga, so maybe read the manga if you're looking forward to the show. Pierrot. This is the new Studio Pierrot show. Gunjo no Magmel. Yeah, there's no other name given for this, so I guess we're calling it that. Gunjo no Magmel? The fantasy series takes place in a world where a new continent named Magmel suddenly appears in the ocean, and a new age of exploration begins. Explorers venture to the island to find previously unknown life forms and resources, but experience one disaster after another. The manga then follows the mysterious young men who make a living as relief workers who aid the explorers. That is an interesting take. I don't think I've ever seen a show like that before. There's a new continent. This manga looks like it's been around for a long time, just looking at the art style. Shall we look at the director? Yes, let's. Kind of a Sayuki Requiem. A lot of direction on Naruto. Is this... that's a Naruto movie. Is it? I think so. There's a lot of Tokyo Underground. Yeah. Okay, Konbini. Oh, this is a convenience store husband. It's like it's like an anime short, right? It's like I think less than 10-minute short. That's interesting. What's the studio? Studio Pierrot, we of course know who that is. Been around for a long time. Hero Mask. Oh, so they did Hero Mask. And the Black Clover movie. Yu Yu Hakusho special. Tokyo Ghoul. These guys have been around forever, Sanrio. So these people, Sanrio Danshi was one of those things. I think it took off. It's like a Konbini Karashi, It's just one of those shows with lots of boys. Looks like an okay show. I like the idea of it, just it's not something we've ever seen. Would I prefer that they follow the explorers? Probably, but the relief workers are also cool. It gives me a Hunter x Hunter vibe, like when they go to that video game, they have to like search around. I don't think it's going to be like that. I don't know where the manga was published, or what it wasn't like Shonen Jump or anything like that, but this is like typical Pierrot character design. Looks like a relatively good show, action show. I don't know what the powers are going to be like in the show, because as we can see, this guy has a glowing hand, so that means they have powers of some extent. We don't know how exactly the powers are going to work, but I think if the story is well done, it could still be good. Weird name though, I don't know if that name will take off. Mayonaka no Occult. It's like a supernatural show. It's another small studio. Manga source. The modern fantasy manga centers on Arata Miyako, a new government worker assigned to the Shinjuku Ward Officer's Nighttime Regional Relations. Each of Tokyo's 23 wards has one such department, which were established to solve paranormal and occult-related events. Supernatural show. There's a lot of these. Occult shows, Arata can understand non-human speech that no one else understands, and he encounters a yokai at Shinjuku Gyoen Park that calls him Abe no Seimei, the name of a historical Japanese occultist and diviner. So he's some kind of like resurrected figure. I guess the manga is relatively popular, that's why it's up on the list this far. Studio Leiden Films, never heard of them. Let's take a look at what they've done. Maho Shoujo. I feel like I should know about this show. Oh, it's not even released yet. Okay. Phantom in the Twilight. Hanebado. Hanebado animation was really good, so there's that. Killing Bites. Oh boy. Okay. So these people alternate between just Koi to Uso was pretty good. Just alternate between really bad and really good stuff. Maybe not really good, moderately good stuff and really bad stuff. Terraformers. That's what I was talking about, that Mars show. These guys did Berserk and Berserk 2. Arslan Senki is good, but that was a long time ago. So I wouldn't go too much into that. These guys seem to be relatively reputable, but I don't know if, just by looking at this dude's face, if this is the most promising show. But there is a niche for occult shows, because the occult is super popular these days, and that's why this show exists, I guess. No other staff listed. Tatsuya Watanabe, or Tetsuya? Let's check it out. This is his first. Or maybe he's a newbie. Oh boy. Doesn't look all that promising, but we'll find out after a couple episodes. Robihachi. Studio Comet. The anime story set in Neo Tokyo, which Neo Tokyo is just such a popular name at this point. In the year GC Galaxy Century 0051, which marks a half century since first contact was made. Humans have attained super light speed navigation technology and formed a commonwealth of planets with aliens. A streak of bad luck is continuing for self-proclaimed freelance reportage writer Robbie Yarge, who's around 30 years old. He fails at work, so his contract is cut. His girlfriend leaves him, nearly dies in a traffic accident, and debt collectors come after him. One day, a bag snatcher steals his bag, and a young man helps him. Hachi Kit. Oh, so it's like a buddy show. It's like Ushio and Tora. The first guy is this guy. Where is he? Robbie. So that's the Robbie and Hachi. Catchy name. 18-year-old part-time worker. I don't know if it's very yaoi-ish, or it'll be more like a buddy show, because there's that one show about that guy who was trying to nail the stepson or whatever. It was a few seasons ago. The titles are so confusing these days. There's no way to remember anymore. The two to travel across the galaxy together in search of Isakander. See, I like space traveling shows, and we haven't had a good one in a while. And there's like a cast of characters in this show. Is it an original? It is. So there's that. The director, Shinji Takamatsu. Gintama. Ooh, he's directed a lot of Gintama, Gundam X. What else? Let's go. A lot of Gintama stuff. Let's go to. I'm guessing this is chronological, but I don't exactly know. But this guy's been around forever. Sakamoto. He directed the Sakamoto Show, Grand Blue. Okay, apparently he did a lot of stuff on Grand Blue. It looks relatively promising, but I think if you watch the PV, you could probably figure out for yourself how promising this is. It seems to be like one of those space traveling buddy cop-esque shows, which can be hit or miss depending on the writing and the comedy itself. But if the comedy's solid, it could be good. Looks fun. Probably unique setting, and the setting's always good to be unique. Better than doing another like high school comedy. Ace of Diamonds. This is an Ace of Diamonds show. There's not really much to say about it. Animated by Madhouse. You know, Ace of Diamonds has been around forever. Hachigatsu no Cinderella 9. Let's see this. This is just underneath. It's like two baseball shows back to back. This is like a cute girls doing baseball show, and the Ace of Diamonds is a serious boys doing baseball show. What is this? This is from a video game. Okay. TMS Entertainment. Is this like are they going to promote? This is interesting. Dr. Stone. Oh, they're doing the Dr. Stone anime too. I guess these guys specialize in adaptations. Lupin the Third. Sorato Umi. Space Bug. The Megalobox specials. Did these guys do Megalobox too? Yeah, they did. Okay. So that gives me more hope. Nobunaga no Shinobi. The Grappler Baki show I thought was somewhat weird in terms of art style. But other than that, so these people did Onihei. Okay. So if you did Onihei, they seem to do a lot of stuff. And especially a lot of sports stuff, as well as action stuff. So this is maybe not a departure, because everyone is doing these days. Who's directing the show? Baby Love, Blood Plus, Chance Triangle. Okay, so they got somebody who knows the genre to do this, which is good, I guess, because otherwise it can get a little bit sketchy if you get an action director to do a cute girls doing cute things show, which he is. He did Ghost in the Shell Arise. He's a little bit of everything. We'll see. It's super hard to tell about this show, but it's a cute girls doing cute things show, so who knows? But it might be a little bit more goal driven than usual. Looks like a cute girls doing cute things, but it has consequences and they're actually doing sports type show. This reminds me of that one show where the main character goes to a town to revive it. Again, extremely bad with names, but there's a show like that somewhere. Yeah, okay. Girls playing baseball. Looks like fun enough. How many episodes? Doesn't say. Hangyakusei Million Arthur. Oh boy. Oh, it's based on an MMORPG. This can't be good. We'll see. Oh, there's nothing. There's no information at all. It airs today. So there's that. I don't know. I don't even know what to say because there's no information given. This is the second season of something. So if you know what the first season is, I'm guessing you watched JC Staff. Okay. Episode 1 airing in 1 day, 11 hours. Mix. It's just called Mix. This reminds me of that like short series anthology type stuff. Mix takes place 20 years from the story Touch. Oh, this is a sequel as well. Okay. What is it about? It's another baseball show. Okay, so if you watched Touch, I guess you'll like Mix as well. It's a shonen baseball show. Looks to be early 2000s from the art style of the manga here. But who knows? Cause in the UK. Okay. There seems to be a lot of sequels too. I think we've reached the sequel part of the list. Sokyu no Fafner. This is another sequel. I guess you already know what this is. Is it? Is it a sequel? A new title in a Dead Aggression franchise is all it says. Sokyu no Fafner Exodus 2. What is this? Second season of Sokyu no Fafner. Sequel to Sokyu no Fafner Dead Aggression. We're like the 4th season. Look at these character designs. What is this? Oh boy. Oh god. Okay. Well, you know, not much to learn about that. Ooh, this is another one. Is this an action show or like a romance show? The story follows the 13 Buddha, along with Taishaku-ten and Bone-ten, who must confront the evil Mara. Mara seeks revenge against Shaka Nyorai, who had previously saved the world from suffering and conflict by achieving enlightenment. From the look of their faces. Asahi Production. Video game. Oh, it seems like Dynasty Warriors, but with Buddha? An interesting mix of shows? I'm gonna guess it's gonna be a romance show. Or like a suggestively romance show. Just by looking at this, there's gonna be a little bit of yaoi bait going on. But hey, if you like that kind of stuff, and you like Dynasty Warriors type aesthetic, this might be for you. Hi no Tori Dogo Onsen Hen. Onsen... Let's see, it's a manga source. Hi no Tori, characters The Phoenix. Osamu Tezuka! Oh, it's like, it's a cartoon of his. It's being adapted, I guess. Yeah, it is. Tezuka Productions. So it's like, oh, it should be pretty good then, right? It's part of a collaboration campaign with Ehime Prefecture. I really need to find the name of that show where they go back to revive the province, because this is exactly like that. This seems like something that they would do. This place in Japan is teaming up to make an anime. I guess it's set in their prefecture, which encourages people to go to this hot spring in Matsuyama. I'm pretty sure Matsuyama is already pretty popular, but hey, you can always use more, I guess. It seems like a tourism promotion type show. I mean, if you're interested in going to that place, then you might want to watch it to know what you're getting yourself into. Bakumatsu Crisis, the second show of that. I'm not gonna get into that. Kiddo Senshi Gundam, they're re-releasing it. It's a recompilation. I guess it's a good way to get people back into Gundam if they're not into it already. Is just to re-release the original series, which can't hurt. King of Prison Shiny 7 stars. New project. This is a sequel. Okay, we're getting to the sequel. Aikatsu Friends sequel. Kirato Pre-chan sequel. The Yokai Watch sequel. This is oh, are we done? We're done. We're finally done. Okay, it took 45 minutes and we blitzed through the last 8 of them. Shall we go up to the top again? TV shorts, let's not forget that. Isekai Quartet. Nande koko ni sensei ga? Okay. This looks like erotic love comedy. Erotic love comedy shorts, I think, are relatively underrated. And from the character designs of these characters, it looks like they're really gonna push the limits of this. You can already tell what characters are gonna be by their character designs. Senryu Shoujo. She writes Senryu. Okay, there's probably I feel like this type of short is what Tanaka-kun show, that show should have been. I actually watched that whole show. I relatively liked it. It was pretty good. People kind of made fun of it because it came out in the same season as Sakamoto, but I thought it was actually better than that. This was one of my hot takes. A as an apple, no as an orgy. That day still taunts her 10 years later. She had no youth to misspend and no time to think about boys. Approaches her with a shocking, I just can't take a hint. So this is like a reverse that show where she like tries to get this like marshmallow looking dude to like her. It's like a reverse of that, but in high school. The only cool thing about that was that it was in the workplace. So we'll see about this. Oh, her dad is an erotic poet. Yeah, okay. I mean, this is a pretty cool setup. Joshikose, who needs dialogue when you're this cute? Just pictures, sound effects, and 3 girls living. So, this like cute girls doing cute things show has been perfected to such a degree that they don't even need dialogue to convey the comedy anymore. It's just gonna be like a series of images. Just let it flow into your brain, you know? That's good, I guess. Nobunaga Sensei no Osanazuma. The manga centers on the relationship between a middle school teacher who has a knack for gal games. Oh, well, this is like... I find that with these shows, they really like do their research. So you just end up learning a lot about whatever the particular quirk of the character is, which is not a reason to watch the show, but it's definitely a more engaging way to learn about the Sengoku period than reading Wikipedia or whatever. Strike Witches 501, Butai Hashin Shimasu. This sounds like a... Okay, girls doing laundry in the army. These shorts are more creative than the rest of the shows. I guess because they don't cost as much money to make, they can be more experimental with it. So there's a girl who speaks in the blunt Nagoya. So this whole comedy is just about the her talking with the Nagoya accent. I guess it's a good way to learn about Nagoya. These shows. You can't really lose when you're watching these shows because they didn't really start with any goal in mind. They're just there to make you happy for 5 minutes or whatever at a time. A Bishoujo character for you that the young male otaku bought suddenly comes to life. And this one is, he buys a figure that comes to life. I mean, the character designs look super weird, but this can't be that bad. Okay, this is an anime for a short. Cinderella Girls Gekijo 3rd season. Now we're reaching to like the cartoon section. Okay. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back to the beginning and see what we can come up with here. What shows do we recommend watching? Oh god. One Punch Man, obviously recommend. Good show. 2nd season should be just as good. Attack on Titan, if you liked the 3rd season part 1, a lot of people felt that it fell off, but if you liked the 1st season, watch it. This seems to be an extremely popular manga, and affordable, that's why they're adapting it most probably. So if you like the manga or read the 1st chapter of the manga and think that you like it, watch the show. Bungo Stray Dogs, number 3. This is an extremely popular show, that's why it's up here. Still going strong in its third season. If you watch any of the first two and you want to get into the third one, do so. It is not. It's like a supernatural detective agency type thing, which is a cool setup, but it's really only for the people that like it. It is a good blend of like comedy and suggestive romances and stuff like that. Fruit Basket romance show. If you like it, you like it. It's based on an extremely popular manga, that's why it's up here. Kenja no Mago. I thought this one was pretty weird, but we'll see. I forgot what it's based on. Oh, light novel. Yeah. I mean, he goes to another world, so he's literally reborn in this world this time. So there's that. Fairy Gone. This one looks interesting. We'll see if they do it well or not. I think the execution is really what will make this show or break it. But light recommend on this show. I feel like it'll be okay. This looks like a comedy ecchi. It depends if you like the character designs. I personally don't that much. This hair effect is so overused at this point. She looks very much like 02. I don't think that could be by coincidence. Probably is. Pink-haired girls, relatively common in anime. If you like that kind of comedy ecchi, watch this. This show I'm low-key hyped for. Shinichiro Watanabe directed music sci-fi show. Maybe the weirdest show of the whole season. It's weird, but we'll find out whether it's good or not. This is just like a lolly harem comedy show. Shoumetsu Toshi. It looks relatively okay. It's based on a video game. I don't think it's going to be that great. So if you're not already invested in the video game or know what it's about, you can try this one, but maybe skip it. This is one of those like Umaru-chan type cute girls shows. It looks wholesome. It looks extremely wholesome. So if you like wholesome shows about cute girls, there you go. That's your show right there. To contrast, this show, it takes itself extremely seriously. From the character designs, you can tell that it looks kind of generic, based on a visual novel. So they're trying to cash in on that popularity. It's relatively weird. I think it's going to play out like an isekai, but he goes to different worlds. And there are girls in all of them, I assume. That's why they're all facing in different directions. This seems like a solid skip. This seems like a reliable just skip to me. But you can make your decision after watching the first couple of episodes. Sara Zenmai looks really good. It looks fun and wholesome. Fun and wholesome is a good formula to sell shows. This looks extremely inviting. You can watch this. It seems like boys get turned into kappas. They have to extract organs to their anuses. What's wrong with that? Where could you go wrong with that? Seems fun. This is a high school club show about people playing instruments. Seems fine to me if you like high school club shows and like music shows. But there are other music shows this season, not to mention Carol and Tuesday. Everybody watch that. I feel like that's going to be underrated at the end of the season, or it could be horribly overrated by me. Either of those could be true. Watch this show if you like this particular instrument. Other than that, I would say give it a skip. The character designs aren't amazing. The only reason I would watch one of these is if there's a very popular voice actor or voice actress, and if the character designs are really good. Gunjo no Magmel. Interesting premise. There's a new continent, and people go to the new continent as explorers, but the show actually focuses on the people who help them, like the support characters, so to speak. Interesting choice to focus on that. Studio Pierrot character designs. Manga source. Doesn't say how many episodes. I'm gonna guess 12. I don't think they'll go more than that. Maybe 24 because it's manga based, but looks solid. You can watch it if you want. It reminds me extremely of Letter B from the 2010s. Letter B was somewhat similar. It focused on the support class in a world where other things, more interesting things in my opinion, were happening. It should be cool to see if that actually happens or not, but sounds good enough. We'll see if the execution is good as well. This is a supernatural occult show. Occult shows are relatively in nowadays, it seems. It's based off of like a police department or a government department or something. Seems pretty cool. I guess it'll go into more like the supernatural side and like talk about the urban myths and stuff like that. So if you're really into that kind of stuff, this could be for you. Other than that, I wouldn't really recommend it unless you're really into supernatural stuff, because this is only one of a few supernatural shows this season. it seems to be diminishing in popularity. But usually there's one that really stands out, and this seems to be the one this season that's really going hard on the supernatural. A buddy cop space adventure show, Robi Hachi. It seems okay. Their character designs are very generic, or just kind of bland. I didn't really like the character designs. The plot, however, seems promising. It's space-based, so there's that. We haven't gotten a really good space-based show in a while, so that seems good enough. Give it a try. If you like the first couple episodes, you might like it. And the rest is pretty much just sequels. So the Diamond No Ace sequel. This is not a sequel. It's a cute girls playing baseball. So this is more like Hibike Euphonium than the other show that I said. Because it seems like they're actually trying to get somewhere. Like in Euphonium, they were trying to get to nationals. I don't know if there's going to be any like Yuri level of stuff in it. We'll see. This is based on an MMORPG show, and it's the second season, so if you know about that, then you know about that. This is the second season of Touch, which is another baseball show. This is another season of this show. These are all pretty much just sequels. This show is interesting because it's promoting this particular prefecture, and in particular Matsuyama in this prefecture, just because Osamu Tezuka once wrote an anime about something in that town. So they're like, hey, Tezuka, big name, we can use this to promote ourselves. Not saying it's a bad thing. If you ever wanted to go there or even see a promotional anime about that, seems good enough, and the art style looks promising if nothing else. Second show, they're re-releasing the first season of Gundam on Japanese TV, I guess, to get people back into Gundam. Seems like a good idea. If you want to get people back into Gundam, put it on TV. They'll watch it eventually. Second season of that show. Second season of Aikatsu Friends. Second season of this show. Yokai Watch, new season. Bakugan, new season. Is this still around? And now we're on to the shorts. The shorts are where it's really promising. This seems to be like a crossover between 4 different isekai shows. This reminds me of that like Fate show where they were just cooking. They're just capitalizing on the popularity of the characters, but it reminds me exactly of that Attack on Titan chibi show, which is what it looks kind of like that too. And I mean, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. Chibi Mikasa is still in my brain. It's a pretty good show. I watched almost all of it. We can already tell from the character designs what kind of show this is. It's a short, so at least it's not going to be super long. It's probably good for a few laughs, Same with this. This girl only talks in haiku, which it lends itself to all kinds of comedy. All these shorts are based purely on the premise. So I could just say the premise and you could understand what it's going to be, because the background settings and everything is the same. Like high school show, but it's perverted. High school show, but the main character only talks in haikus. High school show, but the main character's dad was an erotic poet, and now she has to deal with that because his way of thinking has seeped into her, and she makes dirty jokes. That's the premise of that show. And this show is high school show, but nobody talks at all. It's just silent, and the images just pour into your brain. I mean, what else do you need at this point, right? And this is a high school show, middle school show, but the teacher is an expert on gal games, and his perfect prospective wife, I'm gonna guess that she calls herself his perfect prospective wife and not him, because that's how these shows work, and is an expert on the Sengoku period. So if you've ever wanted to know more about the Sengoku period of Japan, watch this show, because these people usually have tons of info dumps, and I, for one, enjoy them very much. The info dumps, not the shows themselves. This is a little bit different in that a bunch of girls doing laundry in the army, which is interesting. This is about a girl who talks high school show, but it's she's from Nagoya, so she has a Nagoya accent. I'm gonna guess most of the differences come from just learning cultural facts about Nagoya as opposed to the rest of Japan. There's that. And this dude buys a Bishoujo figure, and then it comes to life. And then it's like a slice of life romantic comedy, which you can get behind. And the rest are pretty much just cartoons. So that's that, pretty not packed, but there could be a few good shows throughout the season. We'll see what happens, but I'm looking forward to at least 5 shows, 2 of which we knew were going to be looked forward to, One Punch Man and Attack on Titan. But Sarazanmai, the other show directed by Shinichiro Watanabe, Carol and Tuesday, and Fairy Gone are the other 3 that are my sleeper picks. Kimetsu no Yaiba seems to be like the popular manga shonen adaptation of the season. So all in all, like a relatively mediocre season. We'll see what stands out from the rest. But this video is like an hour long at this point, and I don't think many people will make it to the end. But that is about as detailed as I could get with just looking into the spring 2019 anime season. Hopefully this was helpful to you. If it's not, I'm sorry. But when the first episodes of all these shows come out, probably I'll watch the first episodes and try to give a first impressions of them. I don't know how I'm going to do that video or when that video is going to come out, because some of these shows only come out like 20 days from now. So if there's only one anime left, I might just leave that one out and do the rest of them. But other than that, the season seems relatively okay. Some shows to look forward to, a lot of original stuff to look forward to, which is good. I always like that. It's a good show. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next video.